Those guys with experience from a coach?
Yeah, I suppose they're learning guys. I'm not really a coach, but I guys are still playing. Different than being, 15 years old, still playing. Keep some things still on the court that they can share with the guys. It's fun to play, and that's the team job. So, it's just part of that.
Looks like it was fun for you too.
Well, they've done. Their careers are incredible since they played for me. So watch them play. See what you can help them all day. That's what sounding board is.
Don't get funny or awkward to you? A lot of these guys do a Bible probably coming up half for autographs and stuff.
No, I mean, they're like a family. That's what it is. I mean, I'm starting asking them for their autographs.
Steve, how much do you think this tour can translate into next year?
Well, I think it's whatever little bit we get is huge. Who knows what the actual transfers or what the gains will be from this tour, but I think without it, we'll play with fire. With it, we have a chance for some core guys to get some invaluable experience. It's a game or two next summer. Without it, you're really playing with fire. So, next summer is going to be an incredibly tough task. We have a lot of talent, but a young team that doesn't have international experience, doesn't have experience together, nor experience playing for Jay, getting considerable amounts. So we're overcoming a lot. Our talent level can help us overcome that, but the chemistry, the culture, the experiences we gained this summer are going to be pivotal for next summer.
Do you think the touch points you've been able to have, like your camp a couple of summers ago, this type of event, do you think you've, 3 years in, I guess 3 summers in, there has been a bit of a feel developed?
For sure. I mean, the guys all really want to be a part of the program, but for various reasons it's hard to get everybody here at the same time. Maybe next summer when the Olympics are on the line, we can get everybody together. But we're talking about so many dead ends, schedules, bodies, their clubs are not under what the teams feel is best for them at this time of the career. Especially in the summer where there's no competition, it's hard to sell to some of the teams. The guys, even the guys that are on the trip, AB, Ty, everybody today, Tristan was here this morning, or last night. Guys want to be a part of it. I think they realize that this is their program to own and their country to play for. I think we're going to have a great turnout next summer. It really matters, and we got enough guys here this summer for it to make a difference.
Jay was saying, like, around those big FIBA events, the world kind of stops, and it makes it easier to get guys on their schedules to align, I suppose.
For sure, especially with all the guys going on. The teams are going to have a lot of time. We can't say no to their superstar anymore. They're SAB, so it's really harder for them to say, hey, we don't want you to play for Canada. But I think it's the teams get it. It's a great opportunity.
It's a year away. Would you guys anticipate kind of compensating in a way, trying to build in an extra 4 or 5 days of training camp, or an extra exhibition or two? Or?
It all depends on what makes sense. Sometimes that's making it as accommodating as possible for the players and the teams. So sometimes you have to enter into a constant negotiation with all these factors: players, families, agents, clubs, schedules, commitments, obligations. So it's a moving target at all times and at the best of times. But like I said, our guys are all showing a lot of interest.
Is that part tougher than you thought it might? Not tougher.
I knew in taking the job, the hardest thing is going to be to get the guys to play. I think we've got the guys all interested in wanting to play. The hardest part now is just the various factors. Like I said, so I get it. Like some guys, maybe it's not a good idea for them to play this summer. Other guys, I think it is a good idea, but maybe their teams don't. So you're working with a constantly moving target, but that's the nature of it. And we're going to have to fight through these days until the program grows up a little bit. And I think we made some really good steps in the recently.
I'm not sure if you heard it. Last time we had the tailgate for the last night, so felt Canadian a lot of motivation and drive.
I heard someone story this morning. wonderful sweeping generalization. Really good. Hit it on the head there. Our hockey team lacks a lot of competitiveness. Determination for sure.
I mean, is that I mean, the reference was Andrew. Is that, those labels get put on young players? Is that something he's going to have to deal with, I guess?
Yeah, that's an adversity that he has to overcome. I had to overcome my own. I had to prove that I was athletic enough to play in the league. His athleticism isn't in question. They're worrying about his motivation and desire. It's good for him. He'll overcome it. He'll take that criticism, as he always has over the last 4 or 5 years, and overcome it. I think it's unfair. We're talking about a young guy who's going through an awful lot. He's always rose to the occasion for the most part. Obviously, we all have our bad days, but he's always come back. After his last game in the NCAA tournament, I think he would have been the #1 pick. A lot of people would have said he came through the whole pre-draft. He was the #1 pick. He always bounces back from adversity. So, yeah, there's times when we'd all like to see him show a little more alpha male. When the game's on the line, I never see him turn away. I always see him turn it up. So I think he's going to be fine, and he'll use all these little slights as motivation, and it'll all come.
You've been along with Dirk. You've seen how close you've been that guy who's just, men who are just they're just forces, the cornerstones for their national team year in, year out. Does this group need to have a guy step up and be that person, maybe a Kelly or Tristan or whoever it might be?
If somebody steps up and is kind of the go-to guy, it's great. But I think the beauty of this group is we got a lot of depth. A lot of guys that do a lot of things, and we don't have to lean on each other. Because international tournaments are wars of attrition. You're playing 9 games in 11 days and qualifying, maybe a little bit less in the Olympics, but it's still tough. And what we want is our guys to not have to kill themselves every night. Play 20-25 minutes and thrive in those minutes and be fresh coming out of the games. I think that's ideal. Everyone gets a chance to play and compete and go full out because they're not playing 38 minutes a game. So that would be ideal for our country to have that kind of depth, have everyone involved, build a great chemistry, put the egos away, and just play for one another. We have the potential.
But to have a guy, I guess, who each summer the GM, I'll call him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think conversely, we have enough guys that I call enough of them. And that's important. But hopefully, in the really important summers, almost everybody.
And do you like what you saw so far in training camp?
Camp was great. We had an insurance issue, so we haven't been able to go have any contact. But as far as teaching, effort, commitment, and concentration has been great. The guys have been phenomenal.
Is Mel Leacham an NBA player?
I think he is. I think he needs some work, but I love his game. I think Mel's highly intelligent, versatile. As his shot comes around, he can play the 3. He's a great rebounder for his size. Great rebounder player. I think he can defend multiple positions. I think he's a system guy in the league to start with, because he's so intelligent and versatile. There's a lot of guys in this league that he can play.
Just on the IQ alone.
IQ, athleticism, diversity. He's got a really high skill level. He's not a great shooter yet, but he can put it on the floor, he can score on the basket, he can rebound, he can defend multiple positions. Those are all great skills. In our league, those are really valuable.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve.